In this lesson, we are going to see some advanced JavaScript array methods that can make your life easier. I have an array of items here, an array of objects here, and the first method is the filter method. What the filter method allows us to do is to filter through a condition. Basically, we call the filter array method on an array, and what the filter method only does is accepts a function and returns true only if a condition is respected. For example, if the item's price is major than 300. So now we are filtering over our item array in a way that only the most expensive items are logged. As you can see, and most important is that and this will be more or less all the function that we are going to see, we didn't change anything of the existing array, so we can easily make use of the first array as well as the next array. So we have our previous array with all the items, but we even have a new array which is filter item that has the most expensive items. The second method that we want to talk about is the map method. This is very common to be used. It takes the array that we want and simply converts it into another array. For example, we can, by the use of map, we can take all the item ID that are stored in the item. So now, through the map, it will return only the item's ID. As you can see now, we have our full array and an array with only the item's ID. And this is very useful, and you will find yourself using this a lot of times when you want to simply return the key, a key of a set of items, or using the map method through inside a for loop. Next method I want to talk about is the find method. The find method does what you think it does. It finds the item inside an array, the first item inside an array that respects a certain rule that we define. So in this case, we are using the find item exactly as the map method, and it inside the return statement there is a true or false statement that checks if for example, our item price is equal to 2000, and then it will we return find item, and our find will return the exact item that has that certain price. The method I'll explain now is the for each method. It is a little different from the previous ones, which were very similar. The for each method is like the for loop, so maybe you already know it. But the for each method is an array method. We don't need to return anything or to save it into a variable. It will work instead directly, and it iterates over our array and do what we want. We don't need to return anything, as I said, so we can delete our return statement, and here we can console log or do whatever we want with our item. So for example, we can print only our item ID, and this will work perfectly fine. So as you can see, we have iterated over our array, but we didn't use the for loop, which is more complicated to write and long to write. The next array method I want to show you is very similar to the first three we have seen. It's called the sum. We need to save it into a variable again. And what it does is it checks inside our array if there is something that respects a condition, and if that condition is respected for at least one item, then it will return true. So basically, if our items dot price is less than 400, our has expensive items return true, because at least one is more expensive than items.price. If here it was written it should be cheaper than 0, it will be false, because no item has that price. Another one is every, which is exactly the opposite. It simply check if every item respect these rules. So in this case, not all the items are less expensive than 400, but they are of 4000, and so it returns true in this case. The last method I want to show you is the reduce method. It's a little more complicated than the other ones, so we might need a little more time, but let's see. Let's say that we want to calculate the total amount of price for the whole item. Generally, we would loop through the items and sum the price. We have another way, which is use the reduce method. The reduce method accepts two parameters, not one: the item and the current total in this case. Then we return the item price plus the current total. Okay, and then we need our reduce method needs a second parameter, which is the starting point to our inside our array. So right now we give it as 0, but you can do it using 1, for example. So you can start from wherever you want, and now it should work. No, it doesn't work, which is the reason. This is a very common mistake using this this method, is that item and current total, they have to be switched. Current total has to be at the beginning, and we will see immediately why. Now, as you can see, the current total is the total has to be printed on the screen. Let's understand reduce a little bit in depth. The reduce, what it does, we have an item price which starts from the first price, and so 200, and then it sums current total, which is currently 0. Then this 200, which is the result, gets saved inside the current total. So this data, the next iteration, items price will be 100 and current total 200, and this will be done recursively till we arrive till 400, and the result will be 3200. Okay, so this was the last array method that I wanted to show you. Thank you very much to have followed along, and of course have a look at my other videos.